Earlier, we asked our Major Garrett if Carson, as the new frontrunner, has a target on his back going into tonight's debate.
Carson will be someone all of the Republicans, both on stage and in the audience, will view differently. He's now the front runner. He's no longer sort of an oddity. He's overtaken Trump, something that none of the other quote-unquote establishment Republicans have been able to do. So he's going to be a fascinating part of tonight's campaign debate drama. And what does Donald Trump do with Ben Carson? Do Republicans not named Donald Trump feel the need to go after Ben Carson, or do they assume that over time the Carson phenomena will fade, as it appears some of the Trump phenomena has begun to fade? One thing I think you can be certain about is Ben Carson is not going to be materially different than he always has been. He has a biography, he has a story, he has an approach to politics, a quieter, softer approach to politics that I think he's going to be very much on display tonight. So it'll be the people around him and how they react to that that will be the drama within the drama, if you will.
Major, in the past, candidates who go against Donald Trump, either at these debates or in the media, sometimes suffer the consequences. Up until this point, Dr. Carson has not engaged Mr. Trump, but will he have to do that tonight if Trump goes after him?
Well, so it's been interesting. One of the things about this campaign that has been different, and there have been many different things about this campaign, is this idea or this sense among reporters, among political watchers, and even among Republicans actively involved in this race, that there was something approximating an unspoken non-aggression pact between Donald Trump and Ben Carson, the pure political novices, the total outsiders, rising to the top and not really engaging one another. Well, is that now going to change? Is that non-aggression pact shelved because, hey, it's getting real, it's getting closer to Iowa, and now Ben Carson has jumped into the lead? So that dynamic between those two will be fascinating. And it will also be interesting to see if any Republican who is not Ben Carson or Donald Trump tries to figure out a way, elusive so far, to speak to the anger and the frustration that Republican-based voters have with establishment politicians and find a way to get closer to Donald Trump and Ben Carson, at least in rhetoric or in demeanor, without completely moving away from everything they've ever been in their political lives. That will be a challenge tonight. It has been throughout, and we'll see if somebody can do it.
Major, I want to turn to Jeb Bush, because you look at where he is in the polls right now. He's had to fire staffers, cut his campaign budget. How critical will his performance tonight be?
For Jeb Bush, for Marco Rubio, Chris Christie, John Kasich, certainly Ted Cruz, tonight is very big. Because as much as we're going to be focused on Ben Carson and Donald Trump, these others have to find a way to move from the high single digits into real double-digit territory and begin to make their move into Iowa and New Hampshire in a memorable and significant way. And I think there's one thing to keep in mind, not just about today's debate, but the next week or two. Everyone you talk to in New Hampshire and Iowa says, you know, once we get to Thanksgiving, there's going to be kind of a low-level lull in activity. It won't stop entirely, but people will turn their attention to the holidays. So there's a debate tonight. There is one more right before the Thanksgiving in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Between those two debates and whatever activity these candidates can generate on the stump or in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, that's going to be really important for what they can do after the holidays are over. Because once January engages, those campaigns are going to be on a sprint to get real votes and real support. So I would say the next 2 weeks, these two debates and a lot of campaign activity in between is going to be very important for Jeb Bush and everyone else. Is it more important for Jeb Bush than anyone? Jeb Bush has campaign resources. He's cut staff to make sure those campaign sources last. He's got a huge, well-funded super PAC. So Jeb Bush can hang around longer than almost anyone else. But these 2 weeks are very important for him and everyone else not named Donald Trump or Ben Carson.
All right, Major Garrett in Boulder, Colorado. Major, thank you.
You got it.
Don't forget to tune in to CBSN tonight. We'll have analysis before and after the debate. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern.
And next month, Face the Nation host John Dickerson will moderate the CBS News Democratic debate. You can watch it right here on CBSN. That's November 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern.